Hi, I want to give you a quick introduction of the board we are using to evaluate the FPGA. So this is the Basys3 board, and we are connecting the board with the micro USB cable, and this is the FPGA. So there are a couple of things we need to pay attention before we start the project. So if you look at the upper left side of the board, there are 3 pins, and because we are using the USB cable to talk to the to power the board, so we have to connect the lower 2 pins using the jumper. So here we are connecting the lower 2 pins with the jumper, and on the upper right side there are 4 pins. It's controlling what kind of port we are going to program the FPGA. And because we are using JTAG port, so we have to use a jumper to connect the middle 2 pins. You can power on the FPGA. Okay, so if you look at the lower side of the board, there are a couple of switches, switch 0 to switch 15. And that's the main input we are going to use for the following experiment. And currently all the switches are 0. And if you look at there, on top of the switches, there are tiny little LEDs. So that's the output we are going to generate in the following experiment. So what we are going to do is we want to use the switch 0 and switch 1, those 2 switches, to control the LED 0. So what we are expecting is when we are turning on the switches, the LED will be on. So currently I didn't program any FPGA, so the LED is off. But I want to show you what is our expected result after programming the FPGA. It's a Vivado window we have to use to program the FPGA. Okay, so we click Program Device. So after programming the device, we can go back to the board, and then when I turn on the switches, the LED will be on. And when one of the switch is off, the LED is off. So which means we are using the AND gate to AND those 2 switches. So in the following video, I will show you how do you draw the AND gate and then program the AND gate into the FPGA to power on the LED. Okay. So let me quickly go through the block diagram of how I generate the schematic and program it to FPGA. So the first tool I use is Digital. It's called Digital. It's a free one. You use a Digital to draw the block diagram and specify the input-output pin to generate the .v file. And the second tool is Vivado. So we pass a .v file to Vivado, and Vivado will generate the .bit file, .bit file, pass it to FPGA, such that when we turn on the switches, power on the switches, and the LED will be on. Okay.